What is up, guys? Thanks for stopping by Steady Chaos Productions. I'm your man, Steady Chaos. Whew. Just watched that Patriots-Chiefs game. Man, they really need Cam Newton. Anyway, that's off topic, but is 2021 the year that I finally upgraded my family TV in the living room? Let's discuss. So guys, with this video, it's going to be more of a laid-back video, kind of just thinking out loud, vlogging if you will, soliciting your opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. So the situation is such. So if you've been reading the news lately, you'll see that Samsung wants to take charge of the mini LED TV market in 2021 by shipping over 2 million units. So they anticipate that there's going to be a total of 4.4 million units shipped next year that are mini LED TVs, and they want to be the company that sort of dominates that sphere, that new and emerging sphere, with 2 million of those units coming from Samsung itself. So this leads me to believe that Samsung's flagship TV next year in 2021 is going to be an 8K mini LED TV with quantum dot color. Now that TV is going to look nice and impressive. Now, I currently have a JS8500 in my living room. The TV is a Samsung. It's served me incredibly well over the last 5 years. Bought it in 2015. It's almost 6 years old now. So usually with my TVs, I try to hold on to them for a solid 5 to 7 years so that when I do upgrade, enough time has gone by that enough technological advancements have occurred that it's worth sort of upgrading. So, you know, the JS8500 is 4K, it's a 10-bit panel, it has quantum dot color, it does HDR10, it has everything that I really need. And none of the current crop of TVs from 2016 on to 2020 really, in my opinion, have offered enough of a visual improvement for me to pull the trigger and upgrade. I'm not counting OLED because this is, like I said, a family TV in the living room. The kids have access to the TV. My wife watches a lot of news. You have the CNN or Fox News ticker in the bottom right. I don't, you know, I have an LG C10 as my monitor, but I don't mind that because I control the TV. You know, I'm the one that can regulate what content is on it. I'm the one that can kind of help prevent burn-in. But if the kids have access to the TV and they're playing Fortnite for hours on it, I don't want to risk burn-in with the family TV, especially considering I'm looking for something that's 75 inches or higher. This is going to be an expensive purchase. So that is why I'm looking to stick with Samsung. I've had, you know, like I said, the JS8500, and going even years prior, I have had a 46-inch 1080p LED Samsung that's now in my bedroom that's lasted me 10 years so far with no problems. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So that's why I'm looking to stay with Samsung, and I like the overall look and aesthetic of Samsung televisions. The aesthetic, you know, the borderless kind of frame on the TV, the aesthetics are always sleek and sexy, and the colorful image, it's always kind of punchy, the image on Samsung TVs. It's not always the most accurate, but it's always bright, vibrant, and punchy, and that's what I sort of gravitate to. So, knowing now that Samsung is going to be focusing on a mini LED flagship TV in 2021, is that enough of a technological leap for me to justify buying their flagship and discarding my 2015 JS8500? Now, the biggest limiting factor on the JS8500, as I'm sure you guys are all aware, being one of the first TVs to do HDR10, it doesn't get very bright. It's only 550 nits of brightness. Plus, it's an edge-lit panel, so it has a little bit of light bleed coming in from the sides there, which that's the biggest drawback of the TV. Otherwise, in terms of color reproduction, in terms of sharpness and clarity, there really isn't anything that's better out there. So I thought about, you know, looking at the Q90T, even like the Q800, 8K line from Samsung in 2020, and I'm thinking to myself, is that enough of an upgrade? Even with full array local dimming, with, like, you know, I think the Q90T has somewhere around 100 zones. The Q800T and above, they have somewhere around 400 to 500 zones. Is that really enough of a leap? A technological leap to justify spending $3,000, $4,000, $4,500 in some instances for 75 and 85-inch models to upgrade? And I just don't think it is. But that's why I'm so excited about this mini LED emerging market here. We've seen some monitors in some TVs. I think Asus has a few monitors, and I think, is it TCL, don't quote me on that, that have had some mini LED TVs come out in 2020. So it's not entirely foreign, this concept of mini LED, but it is pretty new. And I think that it's pretty well accepted at this point that Samsung is pretty much the king of LED TVs and LED technology. You could argue Sony and Vizio at times have rivaled them in picture performance, but I think Samsung dominates the market when it comes to LED TVs. LG pretty much the OLED. So that's why I'm excited about seeing this flagship 2021 Samsung mini LED TV. So I feel like the last few years, 2 or 3 years, Samsung's full array local dimming TVs have had around 480 zones, and it's not all that impressive. I feel like in order for me to pull the trigger and upgrade, I want more than that, and that's where mini LED comes in. So mini LED is basically the same type of technology as regular LED. It's just smaller diodes or smaller bulbs that illuminate the pixels. So when you have smaller diodes with mini LED TVs, you have better light control, you have better overall contrast, you have more local dimming zones, you have less blooming, you have better screen uniformity, all of those things. You probably have better brightness too. So that is why I'm so excited to see what Samsung can do in 2021 with mini LED TV. And clearly they're putting all their eggs in the mini LED basket because they want to become the leader in mini LED sales by having roughly 40 to 45% of the total anticipated units, mini LED units, being shipped next year. So 2 million of the 4.4. Now, my question to you guys, the community, is do you feel like that would be a proper and justifiable upgrade going to mini LED in 2021 from the Edgelit JS8500? Or do you think I should wait another 2, 3, 4 years even? Maybe in 3 or 4 years we get to see micro LED. Micro LED, I really don't even think it's going to be widely available in 3 or 4 years. It could be closer to 5 years. That technology is complex. It's very similar to OLED in that every individual pixel is emissive. So it can be its own color, it can adjust and level its own brightness, just like an OLED. The only difference is these pixels on micro LED use LED backlights, every individual pixel, so they're not organic, so they don't decay over time, and they won't lead to the same type of problems that OLED have, which is screen burn-in and the image becoming less and less bright over time. With micro LED, you're combining the best of both worlds. You're getting that inky black contrast and perfect screen uniformity with zero blooming or light haloing or anything like that, just like you get on OLED, but because you're using a micro LED backlight for every individual pixel, you're also getting that brightness. You're gonna get over 2,000, 3,000, even 4,000 nits of brightness with micro LED. The problem is, it's notoriously difficult to develop and manufacture, and it is extremely expensive. It's an extremely expensive technology. For sure though, when micro LED does become widely available, it will be a breakthrough in picture quality and picture technology. But I think when it becomes available on the market to high-end consumers, because it's not going to be cheap, say 4 or 5 years from now, if you want a 75-inch brand new micro LED, brand new technology, that's going to cost you thousands of dollars. I'm not talking like 5,000, 6,000. I'm talking like maybe upwards of 10, 15, $20,000 for some of these brand new TVs with cutting-edge technology. So I don't really think it's viable for me to wait 3, 4, 5, 6 years for micro LED to be introduced and for the price to come down to a reasonable level that I can afford as a middle-class consumer. It's one thing if you're wealthy and money is no object, but I'm not wealthy like that. So, and plus, if I wait till 2025, 2026 for a micro LED, my JS8500 is really outdated. It's 10 or 11 years old at that point. So that is why I think 2021 might be a great time to jump on board with the mini LED. I'm sure the brand new Samsung flagship 8K, which is it's gonna be 8K, mini LED in 2021 is gonna be, if you want the 85 or 75 inch, the 85 would probably be $5,500, $6,000 if I had to guess. The 75 inch is probably gonna be between $4,000 and $5,000. So it's still a relatively new technology, mini LED, and Samsung is gonna charge a premium, there's no doubt. But if I were to wait until October and November when you can get some of those fall sales, and when Samsung and vendors like Best Buy are trying to move out some of that 2021 inventory in anticipation of 2022, you can probably get a solid deal. So I could probably find a 75-inch mini LED from Samsung for maybe $3,800, $4,200, somewhere in that range, which I'd be willing to spend if the picture quality is good enough. And then I would buy, I mean, a lot of people would say you shouldn't get 8K because even 2021 is too soon for that, but I would buy this TV in 2021 knowing full well that I'm gonna keep it for 5, 6, 7 years before I would make another upgrade. So that would carry me to somewhere between 2026 and 2028, at which point hopefully micro LED will be widely available and the prices for micro LED will have come down to a reasonable level such that it's a potential alternative to my 5, 6, 7-year-old mini LED TV at that point. So anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you think I should pull the trigger in 2021 or at least seriously consider it? We can't know for sure because we haven't seen the specs from Samsung's flagship 2021 mini LED TV. Who knows how it's going to shake out? But say everything shakes out like you expect it to. Say it's a really high quality television that has well over a thousand zones of local dimming and has 99% DCI-P3 color coverage, you know, over 2,000 nits. Would that justify me upgrading from my JS8500? This is a different kind of video for me. I just kind of want to think out loud. I kind of want to use you guys, the community, to get some feedback and get some opinions and some ideas. And with that said, that's the end of this video. Hopefully you have enjoyed. Leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and we'll see you guys real soon. Later.